think I could be a little of a romantic. And if you're feeling any of these, chime in as we go along. Every forest looks like this, right? Beautiful, always got color, it's gorgeous. I don't care where I am in nature, I think it's beautiful. Well, except that sometimes when I go like along the Patuxent River, where there's a lot of sediment that's all, you know, because that river changes elevation by like 10, 20 feet over time, because it's got reservoirs on it that release water. So sediment builds up on trunks of trees up waist high. That hurts my heart a little bit. So yeah, there might be places where I'm not so romantic in nature. Any gardeners? Okay, you can relate to the gardener. The gardener wants to nourish and grow and things to eat and beautiful things to look at, and takes a relationship from nature in what nature can do to nurture them, is how I would describe it. Food and flowers and beauty. Little bit of gardener in you? Okay, now we get into, I'm not quite sure personally, what the difference is between the mystic, going the wrong way, sorry, and the shaman. I think the mystic and the shaman are fairly similar. But that's, and you know, I used to feel like my belief regarding trees was very mystic and shamanistic, but now in this hidden life of trees, now in this book, science is proving that what I have felt all along might be true, except that I might be a little farther off on the scale. Does anybody know what Reiki is? Reiki is a treatment method where instead of touching the patient, you move their energy, mainly not touching, and you heal through moving the energy of a person. Well, I believe that if I'm hurting and I reach out to the trees around me and say, trees around me, I'm really hurting, and I ask my friends around the world to send me good energy because I'm hurting. When my mom died, I asked for this energy. Send this to me through the trees where you are. So I asked my friends, go out and, you know, send me some energy through the trees, and I picked it up through the trees where I was. That's what I believe. So I'm pretty far out on that mystic shaman stage. This book hasn't proven that that's true yet. I mean, it's just energy. How do you measure that kind of stuff? But I pretty much believe that's true, that you can send healing and stuff through nature and use those trees. Ecologists? Okay. You want to study it. You want to know how it works in this larger realm. A biologist, as I'm reading his archetypes here, is more, I'm going to study this plant and how this plant works. Ecosystem is more like, I want to understand, in this program we talk about plant communities a lot. So how does this plant community function? How does it function with those plant communities next to it? How does it function vertically? Phew. They've been doing the coolest research on the redwoods out in Humboldt, Northern California, where there's whole ecosystems along these trees. They're 300 foot tall, right? So there's whole ecosystems, different lichens growing and insects, and so cool. Okay, so, and then there's the mystic, I guess that's me. I believe in the bigger energies of nature, those kind of things. So part of your paper is to look at these archetypes and say which ones do you relate to? And like anything, it's not this or that. We're all kind of parts of each of them. I mean, I think I'm part ecologist. I'm part biologist because I like to know how trees function. It's like it was my favorite class is, you know, xylem and phloem. Xylem cells go up, phloem cells go down. Cambium, bark, I loved all that stuff. But I also wanted to know the bigger relationships. So think about for yourself, which of those do you relate to? How does that work? Okay. I'm going to go through these rather quickly because we're a little bit behind on time. But so we've got this triple bottom line and how we're dealing with those three areas. So how do you balance these three things? It's very, very hard. I'm not going to tell you that, you know, you get done with this class and, oh, you'll be able to just